Do you have a problem with Dan Savage at all? He's the guy who...
Not at all.
No.
Why would I?
He's the guy who was in California doing this really great workshop for the kids.
Well, it's an anti-bullying workshop.
Okay. Nothing wrong with anti-bullying stuff.
No, it's very good.
It's very good stuff. We should all get along. We should all work together. We can disagree with each other, but we don't have to hate each other. We don't have to do any of that stuff. And I think we've made great progress as human beings on being decent to each other. But we are being dragged back to absolute hatred every step of the way. Here's Dan Savage in California and what he had to say to kids in a high school, anti-bullying.
This is following him bashing the Bible for about 5 minutes, probably, calling it BS, and pointing to certain sections of the Bible, calling them BS. So a whole bunch of kids walked out, and here's what he had to say about them.
So you can tell the Bible guys in the hall, they can come back now because I'm done beating up the Bible.
You know what's more disturbing to me than what he's saying is the reaction of the crowd.
Yeah, the cheering.
The cheering. He just beats on the Bible and beats on the Bible. Mm-hmm. And these kids get up and walk out, and they're cheered as they're walking out, like good riddance. And then he starts to bash them while they're out in the hallway. This is an anti-bullying campaign.
It's funny as someone who's on the receiving end of beatings that are justified by the Bible, how pansy-ass some people react when you push back.
Nice. So at an anti-bullying conference, he calls the kids who get up and leave pansy-ass.
Can you imagine?
Kids. Wow.
Kids. Is he gay?
Unbelievable.
Is he gay? Okay.
Yes.
No. So can you imagine saying to him, this guy's leaving because, I'm expressing that his lifestyle, I don't agree with it. What a pansy ass he is. Can you imagine
firestorm
what would be said?
Unbelievable.
Imagine what would be said. So he is he's a guy now that the Blaze is reporting has been to the White House, has White House connections. The Blaze has him meeting with Joe Biden, and this is a guy who has a show on MTV. This is not some nobody that is saying these things. This is a guy who has clout.
Yeah.
Well, he's the guy, too, that's responsible for the whole Santorum Google bomb thing. I'm
not familiar with that. I read that, and I'm not.
Really?
I
thought we talked about it at one point during the campaign. I mean, maybe we didn't, but basically he didn't like Santorum, and he, was one of the people leading the charge saying he was anti-gay and all that nonsense. And he decided to tell everyone to post Santorum to spam Google essentially, and saying the definition of Santorum was something to do with gay sex. So when you Google Santorum, you come up with this gay sex reference instead of Rick Santorum. It was just a way to try to to bash
Bizarre.
Santorum. He's a crazy person.
Bullying is fine.
Yeah, he does.
As long as you're the one doing the bullying. That's what his real message apparently is.
Well, but that is the message of the left.
It is.
It is the message of the
left.
left.
All of these things are fine as long as we're doing it to you. But
as
if
long
you
as
do it to us,
the Tea Party says anything about revolution, immediately it needs to be investigated. But you're entering now the most dangerous week our country has seen in a very long time. Now, whether
tomorrow for sure,
whether anything happens this week or not, I don't know. But this is the beginning of what is coming.